DNA is a nucleic acid that holds the genetic instructions used for developing and functions for all living organisms. It codes for the instructions needed to construct other cells, such as proteins and RNA molecules. It is held in the nucleus of each cell in the organism. The shape of a DNA is a double helix, like two vines wrapped around each other. DNA replication is a copying of DNA which happens during interphase of S phase and is done prior to cell division. When it gets copied, the double helix untwines itself and reveals the letter to be copied. The DNA, genes, and chromosomes are all connected by like a big book with different kinds of words and phrases. The DNA are the letters for the genes are the words for the chromosomes, and the chromosomes are the books that hold everything else. A protein is an amino acid that builds body structure. A monomer of a protein is an amino acid. The DNA code builds a protein by having 3 different letters match up with other specific 3 letters to create an amino acid. It's called a codon. For example, the letter CCA make the amino acid proline, and CCA matches up with GGU, which is glycine. When the proteins are built during transcription and translation stages, this is how it goes during transcription. The nucleus copies the DNA into what is called the mRNA. The mRNA leaves the nucleus and goes to the cytoplasm, and the DNA is left behind in the nucleus. The DNA will never leave the nucleus. The only thing that will be leaving the nucleus would be the mRNA. Next, what happens is it'll go to transcription. The mRNA will go into the ribosome, and from there, the tRNA will match up anticodons to go with the codons on the mRNA. Now remember, the codon was the 3-letter things that will match up with the other 3 specific letters. And during that process, proteins are built. Down syndrome is a chromosomal condition. It is named after John Langdon Down. A person with Down syndrome will usually have an abnormally small chin, an unusually round face, oversized tongue, an almond-shaped eye, shorter limbs, a single crease across their palms instead of usually the double crease that a normal person will have. Also, they will have poor muscle tone and an abnormally large space between the first and the second toes. Individuals with Down syndrome have health concerns such as heart defects, gastroesophageal reflux disease, recurrent ear infections, obstructive sleep apnea, and thyroid dysfunctions. It is caused by all or part of an extra 21st chromosome. Often Down syndrome is associated with some impairment of cognitive ability and physical growth, and a particular set of facial characteristics. People with Down syndrome tend to have a lower IQ than people who are normal. Children with Down syndrome usually have an IQ of 50, whereas normal children usually have an IQ of 100. The incidence of Down syndrome is estimated at 1 per every 733 births, which is pretty bad. Even though it is much more common with older women, it is also believed that other causes may be the cause. Thank you for listening to my DNA project.